Okay, so let's talk about something that seems super simple, but man, does it get people fired up online. The question is, should you count your car in your net worth? It sounds easy, right? Well, today we're going to cut through all that noise and get to the real answer. Let's dive in.
And this isn't some abstract thing that only accountants argue about. This is a real post from a grad student who's just starting out, trying to figure out their financial life. They bought a new car and genuinely wanted to know where it fits in the big picture. And the answers they got? Whoa, they were all over the map.
So on one side you have the purists. The argument is super straightforward. A car is a thing you own, it has value, so by definition, of course it's part of your net worth. Simple. End of story, right?
Well, not so fast. Because then you get the complete opposite take. You have folks saying, whoa, I don't even count my house, let alone my car. They are actively choosing to leave these massive items completely out of their personal calculations.
And that's where it all gets so confusing. You've got two groups of smart, financially minded people looking at the exact same question and coming to totally different conclusions. So, what gives? Who's actually right here?
All right, to sort this out, let's start with the official by-the-book answer. Let's forget what people feel for a second and just look at what happens when you have to show your numbers to, say, a bank for a loan.
First things first, we got to be clear on the terminology. What even is an asset? Well, it's just an item with economic value that can help you out in the future. Cash can buy you stuff, and a car can get you to your job.
And from there, net worth is that classic formula you probably learned in school. It's everything you own, your assets, minus everything you owe, your liabilities. It's the universal official calculation.
And this right here pretty much settles the technical debate. This comes from an official personal financial statement, the exact kind of form you'd fill out to get a loan. And what do you see? Listed right there under personal assets, bam, automobiles. So by the book, yes, your car is an asset, and it absolutely counts toward your net worth. Case closed. Or is it?
Because if the answer were really that simple, we wouldn't be talking about this. There wouldn't be a debate in the first place. And that brings us to the real heart of the issue, the reason this particular asset can sometimes feel like anything but.
Yeah, this is the real question, isn't it? If the official forms say count it, then what's the big deal? Why are so many financially savvy people deliberately leaving it off their own spreadsheets?
And here's the problem all summed up in one pretty painful number. A brand new car can lose 20% of its value in the first year alone. That is a huge, huge drop for something that's supposed to be a plus on your financial scorecard. This brings us to a super important concept, the depreciating asset. Unlike a lot of other things you might own, your car is basically guaranteed to be worth less tomorrow than it is today. It's on a one-way street, losing value from mileage, age, you name it.
And that's the key here. See, not all assets are playing the same game. You have appreciating assets, like stocks or real estate, that you hope will grow in value over time. But then you have depreciating assets, like cars and electronics, that are almost designed to lose value. So just lumping them all together can feel, well, kind of misleading.
Okay, and this is where we get to the real aha moment. It turns out that this whole debate isn't really about the definition of an asset at all. It's about what people are actually trying to achieve. They're working toward two totally different goals, and that changes the entire question.
As people kept talking on that Reddit thread, they realized something huge. The folks who don't count their cars, they're not really tracking net worth in the traditional sense. They are laser-focused on a completely different target, their progress toward financial independence.
This is a huge part of what's known as the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. The whole idea is to build up a portfolio of assets that generate income, enough income that you eventually don't have to work for money anymore. And in that race, a car isn't really helping you cross the finish line. And then this one comment just cuts through all the confusion. This is it. This is the whole key. Smart people are tracking two separate numbers. Net worth is the big official number for the bank. But their FIRE number, that's just for them, and it only includes money that's invested and growing.
So how do you even figure out that second number, your FIRE number? Well, a really popular rule of thumb is the rule of 25. It's beautifully simple. First, you figure out what you think you'll spend in a year during retirement, then you just multiply that number by 25. And that's it. That's your FIRE number, your target.
This chart makes it super clear, right? Your goal is tied directly to your lifestyle. If you can live on 40 grand a year, your target is $1 million in investments. If you spend 80 grand, you'll need 2 million. And notice what's missing from this calculation, the value of your car. It's just not relevant to this specific goal because it's not producing any income for you.
So let's bring it all home and lay out the final clear answer. All that confusion and debate just evaporates, really, once you realize it was never about either or. It's about knowing which number you need for which job.
And here it is, the whole shebang, side by side. Your net worth is your formal financial snapshot. Think of it as your mortgage application number. It includes everything, car and all. Your FI number, on the other hand, is your freedom number. It only counts the assets that are working for you, the ones that will let you retire someday. One number is for the outside world, the other is for you.
And this isn't just a neat theory. This is exactly what savvy people are already doing. They track both numbers because they both serve a really important purpose. One tells them where they stand on paper today. The other tells them how close they are to true financial freedom.
So in the end, the answer to should you count your car is just, it depends what you're trying to figure out. Are you trying to see what a bank sees, or are you trying to see how close you are to a life where work becomes optional? Knowing the difference is the real answer. And now the only question left is, which number matters more to you?